The cheers at Nyayo Stadium had barely settled when the country split into two. On one side, thunderous celebration, on the other, a digital uproar that turned Jamhuri Day into a national debate, all because President William Ruto did something no one expected. He approved the renaming of Talanta Stadium to Raila Amolo Odinga International Stadium. It happened fast, too fast. Governor Johnson Sakaja had just stepped off the podium after a bold plea.
Uwanja huo uite Raila Odinga International Stadium ili kumkumbuka baba wetu ambaye alituacha.
The crowd roared, chants of Raila rolled across Nyayo Stadium like a wave, and in that moment, Ruto seized the moment.
Mumesema ipatiwe jina la Raila Amolo Odinga International Stadium. Nimewasikiza na tukikamilisha tutafanya hivyo.
Just like that, one of Kenya's biggest sports infrastructure projects, a 145 billion shillings mega stadium funded through public bonds and expensive loans, had a new name, a name loaded with history, emotion, and political weight. But even as the applause echoed across the stadium, a very different conversation erupted online. Talanta Sports City was not just a stadium, it was the crown jewel of the Talanta Hela initiative, a modern multi-purpose complex meant to rewrite Kenya's position in continental sports, scheduled to host next year's Jamhuri Day celebrations and key AFCON 2027 matches. This was infrastructure meant to shape Kenya's future. But on December 12th, it suddenly became a memorial, a monument to the late Raila Odinga, who died just 2 months earlier. For ODM, this was a fitting national tribute. For others, it was historical justice long overdue. But for a section of Kenyans, especially online, it was something else entirely.
Tafadhali na waomba tusimame kwa dakika moja kwa heshima ya kiongozi wetu Raila Amolo Odinga.
The criticism was immediate, sharp and emotional. A large group accused Ruto of capitalizing on Raila's death to court the Luo vote. The suspicion was simple. Was this a tribute or a tactic? Kenyans struggling under high taxes, rising debt and crippling inflation saw the renaming as misplaced political theatre. With 145 billion shillings price tag and interest piling up, some saw the renaming as a distraction from real economic pain. Another group was tired of naming public infrastructure after politicians. One Kenyan wrote, projects funded by taxpayers should not carry the names of individuals. We renamed Mbagathi Road to Raila Odinga Road and nobody even uses the new name. The message was clear: leave public infrastructure neutral. Some Kenyans mocked critics as hypocrites or tribal, triggering heated exchanges. The debate quickly shifted from policy to tribe, a classic Kenya spiral. Make no mistake, the support was massive as well. People who adored Raila saw it as a national blessing, a leader who fought for democracy, devolution, youth empowerment and multi-party freedom finally getting recognized.
Nilisikia mtukufu rais kama naongea mambo na stadium. Nimekubali. Tena nimekubali. Ni ukweli na tena nimefurahi akikumbuka hiyo.
Raila Amolo Odinga is a hero. Na is a hero si ya Wajaluo, si ya Wakenya, dunia mzima, East and Central.
Figures like Esther Passaris hailed it as a tribute to a man whose sacrifices reshaped Kenya's political landscape. Even critics admitted one thing: Raila Odinga, even in death, remains the center of conversation. Globally, naming major infrastructure after political figures is normal. But Kenya is not just any nation, it is politically charged, deeply polarized, and always election ready. So this renaming lands in a very delicate moment. Raila is gone, ODM is fractured internally, Ruto is preparing for 2027, the Luo vote is leaderless, national frustration is high. This tribute may unite the nation or fuel the belief that Ruto is playing emotional chess with a grieving community. Construction will be completed in early 2026. Jamhuri Day may be hosted there next year, and Raila's name will dominate the stadium skyline. But the real test will be public adoption. Will Kenyans call it Raila Odinga International Stadium, or will Talanta Stadium survive the renaming like Mbagathi Road did? And more importantly, will this tribute heal Kenya or harden its political divides ahead of 2027? For now, the nation remains split, but one thing is undeniable. Even in death, Raila Amolo Odinga remains one of the most powerful names in Kenya's political imagination. Newsroom, Maisha TV, Reader, Kering Chebet.